We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like 2 losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that 2nd win in a row.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdowns.
And this intercepted on the first play of the game. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
And part of why they came into this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this. And now it's a prime opportunity. Just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now, on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
First carry for James Conner. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Now Minshew. Complete to Likely. They'll give him 4 yards there. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Anytime they think they've got him open beyond the markers, you know they're going to throw it his way. And that's not going to change even after that incompletion was forced.
Myers' kick is good, and the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. Not the way they wanted to begin things. You had the interception on the first play of the game. The good news, it only led to 3 points.
And remember our conversation with him prior to the ball game? He said they had something special designed for the first play. It didn't hit. Let's see if he can rebound from it and not let it get him down.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 2nd down, 8 to go from the 28. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The numbers for McCaffrey last week. 7 carries, 91 yards, and a touchdown.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. 2 yards on the pickup there. And it's 3rd and 4 now. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now Richardson back to throw it. He finds Douglas complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. Throwing quickly out wide, Atwell. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. McCaffrey running up the middle, and they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. You look at this Buffalo defense. They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. In motion, the tight end. Richardson looking to throw. And he's going to drop this down to McCaffrey. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. Down to about the 22 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Here's Richardson to throw. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Now it's Richardson. He'll get this one complete to Atwell. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. And they'll run it here. And that one never got off the ground. He's going to be stopped up well behind the line of scrimmage. Nick Bosa using that speed to get in there and break that play up.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Off play action. Richardson rolling to his right. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A heck of an effort there on the scramble leaves him with just 3rd and a yard.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. Well, they were looking to pick up the first down on 3rd and short, and they got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partner. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. They were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, it's just the way the schedule lines up because everyone's got to play a Thursday game, and that's because of competitive balance. So, let's face it, would you rather play week 2 when you're still relatively fresh and excited about the season? Or week 15 when you've had a season's worth of bumps and bruises to factor in, and who knows what your record might be at that time as well.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And a tackle there by Jermaine Pratt. The Bills at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to take care of business in front of the home crowd last week.
Yeah, it's always nice to get that opener at home, but now things get a little bit tougher. The good thing for them, though, is they take a little extra confidence with them when they head out on the road.
Looking to throw it, Minshew. And this one's incomplete. You talk about this Miami defense. They've been very good against the pass so far this year. Number 4 in the NFL right now.
And, hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into Week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's try to get to that number 1 spot.
Minshew sets to throw. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
Levante David in on the tackle. This is 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. They'll get only a couple down to the 44. Well, this defense for the Bills, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. They go play action with Richardson. That's to his running back, complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Bills are going to get the football back. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Nixon. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
Back to Mixon on first down. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Connor up the middle. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Here's Minshew. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and now fall incomplete.
That's one of the dangers of the quick game. If you only have a 2- or 3-step drop, if you don't get the ball to someone open right away, his defenders are right near the line of scrimmage and then get on top of you in a heartbeat.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. Myers' kick is good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for them, and with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Bills are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They start the drive with Connor. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they followed him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Mixon will try the right side. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The offense on third down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Now back to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. They'll go play action here with Minshew. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. They'll try and run for it with Connor. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
And we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's who you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. Off play action, it's Minshew. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Partner, I think this will win a ride very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Good work after the catch, gets him 15 and a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it'll be second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And again, this Buffalo defense there in run support to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Richardson hit it, he fumbles it. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. It's Mixon on the counter. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He'll drop to throw. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. A defensive-minded coach loves to bring the heat. Brought the heat there, and it worked out.
And nowadays, all those defensive-minded coaches, for them, it's all about getting the football. I went into one facility, and as soon as you walked into the defensive room, there was a football.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
At the 39-yard line.
Richardson looking to throw this. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. Now inside the 25. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust?
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take a blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And now following that turnover, they've got an opportunity here to try to cash in with good field position before intermission. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now Joe Mixon looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Minshew. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll look to throw. He's got it. And he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. Myers' kick is good, and the Bills have come back to regain the lead. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first,
well, everyone's eager to resume play here in this Week 2 contest, so we push right through halftime and back at it for the start of quarter 3. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. So here are the Bills to take over. They're leading right now and on the heels of that victory last week against Arizona. 1st and 10 as they start this drive. They'll try and start this drive in the air. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Minshew. Pass thrown right back to Joe Mixon. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. From the 45 on 2nd down, Minshew. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The Bills passing game getting them down the field. They've got another 1st down.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. They run behind center with Connor. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Throwing on 2nd down. Minshew to Mixon on the check down. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The Bills passing game getting them down the field. They've got another 1st down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
From the gun, a give to Connor. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Out of the gun is Minshew. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick.
And the passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Slant route connects with Deebo Samuel. And he's going to be taken down short of the first, right around the 15-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Nice job understanding the situation. 3rd and long, kept the play in front of them and made the tackle. They gave up a good chunk of yardage, but it does force a 4th down.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Looking to throw it, Minshew. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Curtis Samuel, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bills take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. It took a pretty big risk right there going for it on 4th down, but hey, not only did they get the first down, forget about that, they got in the end zone.
Yeah, because normally you're just thinking, can I get enough yardage to get it past the sticks and pick up a 1st down? Instead, they go for the end zone and get it done with no margin for error. Remember, 4th down, they went for it.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Dolphins offense and Anthony Richardson ready for this next possession. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset to the Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Up the gut, McCaffrey. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now Richardson. That is caught. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Here's Richardson to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Richardson. And he's going to go down again. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
To the right side and complete to Atwell. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game. And on that last play, they actually went in reverse. I think this crowd would have liked neutral, don't you?
Yeah, neutral would have strongly been preferred. They'll take anything positive at this point. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here again comes Gardner Minshew. Last drive, surgeon-like, dare I say, 7 for 7. That'll help your QB rating.
It will indeed, won't it? Can you figure out QB rating? Can you do it? Can you do the formula?
No, I just know the higher the number, the better.
Yeah, that's what I've been told,
That's what I know.
I know that in the NFL, 158.3 is the number they're all trying to get to. I think he was that on that last drive. Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Minshew sets to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Minshew. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Jermaine Pratt fighting in and dropping him for the loss.
I know nowadays they give a lot of guys different things when they get to the sidelines after creating a big play, but just throw a cape on this guy because he single-handedly ended multiple drives. Interception earlier, sack on 3rd down. Really should have a better game plan installed for how to contain him because he's affecting this game in so many ways.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible to win in this league when you're turning the ball over at the frequency that they have. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Off play action, Richardson. He'll get this one complete to Atwell. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the 4th. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. Yeah, Richardson back to throw it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Mike Gesicki, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th.
Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, they've seen their lead nearly extinguished after that last score, but bottom line, they are still on top with the football, and a touchdown on this drive would really put them in position A.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. It's Connor as they stay on the ground, and he's going to get about 7 yards on that one up to around the 33.
And that's just an ideal run to start this drive because they're in full ball control mode now, so if you keep ripping off 7, 8, 9 yards of carry, you're going to have a great chance of finishing off this game.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Minshew. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
Mixing up the middle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
Off play action, it's Minshew. Eluding the pressure right. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll set up a throw.
That is caught by Likely.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on 4th down.
Boy, that was a big gamble for them right there. They went for it on 4th down, showed a little chutzpah because they did it with the lead here in the 4th quarter. And this defense is once again unable to stop them.
Complete out to Samuel on the quick throw. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
57 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front. And it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Second down and goal. Minshew. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
And the Dolphins are right back in this football game. So a good drive with a bad ending, Charles. They move it down the field well. Cannot finish it off, though, as it's intercepted in the end zone.
Deflating, that has got to be the word here because they were sharp in moving it down the field. But sometimes you start thinking like a touchdown is a given. And it doesn't always work out that way as we saw there.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field.
A golden opportunity for them now following the interception. They need to try to at least get 3. Obviously, a touchdown puts them in a much more secure position.
Let's go.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Douglas. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple.
Richardson.
He finds Douglas complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
Now it's Richardson.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. Now Minshew. Open man is Samuel, complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
To throw again on second down. Minshew. That's going to be caught by Samuel. Down the left sideline. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Curtis Samuel with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bills use the big play to extend their fourth quarter lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now an important extra point here to maybe salt this one away. And that makes it a 9-point game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Miami's offense set and ready to go. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone.
They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
Richardson to throw off play action.
And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30.
That's good for a Miami Dolphin.
Steps away to his left.
And he'll wind up picking up about 4 as that is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. Richardson looking to throw.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Well, this feels like a late season game, even though it's just week 2. Here's a big 3rd down.
He's going to take a shot for the end zone.
Intercepted by the Bills. They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking middle, and that's complete. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away.
And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line.
So the Dolphins now down by 9, 65 seconds remaining. They'll need a score here and also likely an onside kick recovery, but first things first. 1st and 10. Richardson. And that's into the hands of Gesicki.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Here's 2nd down and 3.
A 7-yard pickup. Here we go. 2nd and 3.
Here's Richardson.
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Now Richardson.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked off by Jamel Dean. And the Bills are going to get the football here at their own 23.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The Bills offense and Gardner Minshew getting set to go to work once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Even though positive yardage was gained on that play, I think the defense has to be happy. Obviously, they were prepared for some trick plays coming into the game, and they looked very aware that those could happen on any given down.
On the handoff, Connor. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. They'll run again. And he will have a Bills 1st down, and that should be that.
And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down.
And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills, and you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Bills, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Miami, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. So for our entire